Once upon a cold December morning in Providence, when the sky was pale and the city felt wrapped in a tired winter hush, an older man walked into Judge Caprio's courtroom with a limp so slight you would miss it unless you looked closely. His name was Robert Hale, though most people simply called him Bob. He wore a faded jacket, the zipper broken halfway, and carried a small plastic bag instead of a wallet. His hands trembled, not from the cold, but from the exhaustion of a life lived on the edge. As he stepped up to the podium, Caprio immediately sensed something heavy, something human, something sad. "Mr. Hale," Caprio said gently, "you're here for several overnight parking violations. 8 of them, to be exact. That's a lot. What's going on?" Robert took a breath, unsteady and shallow, as if he had been holding it for years. "I was trying not to bother anyone," he whispered. His voice was soft, almost apologetic. "I wasn't trying to break the law. I was just trying to survive." The courtroom grew still. Caprio leaned forward. "Survive? Tell me what you mean." Robert swallowed hard. "I've been living in my car for the past 7 months." No one moved. Even the officers behind him shifted uncomfortably. "My house," Robert continued, struggling to find the words, "burned down in a fire last year. Electrical fault, they said. The firefighters saved my neighbors, but not my wife." His voice cracked on the last word. The room felt colder suddenly, as though the weight of his grief pulled the temperature down. "Her name was Evelyn," he whispered, eyes glistening. "We were married 42 years. She was everything. I tried to go back inside, but the smoke—" His voice broke, and he took a moment, pressing his fingers against his eyes. After a long pause, he continued, "They told me I should be grateful I survived, but sometimes, Your Honor, I don't feel grateful at all." A few people in the audience quietly wiped their eyes. Robert took a shaky breath. "Since the fire, I've been bouncing around from parking lot to parking lot. I stay near the hospital sometimes because that's where Evelyn worked for 30 years. It makes me feel close to her. But those lots have signs, rules, and I just needed a safe place to close my eyes." He nodded toward the tickets in Caprio's hand. "That's where the violations come from. I'm not ignoring the law. I'm just tired, Judge. Tired and alone." Caprio looked down, unable to keep the emotion from settling in his eyes. He scanned the stack of fines, notices piling up on a man who had already lost everything. "Mr. Hale," Caprio said softly, "do you have anyone? Children? Siblings?" Robert shook his head. "We tried for years. Never had kids. And Evelyn's family is all gone now. It's just me." Caprio let the words sit in the air, heavy and fragile. "What about assistance? Shelters? Programs?" Robert gave a small, sad smile. "I tried, but the nights, the crowds, the noise, I panic. I wake up thinking the fire is happening again. My heart starts racing. I can't breathe. So I sleep in my car. It's the only place I don't feel trapped." Caprio's eyes softened with a mixture of sorrow and understanding. "Mr. Hale," he said quietly, "you did not come into this world to end up alone in a car, and you certainly don't deserve to be punished for trying to find safety." Robert looked up, hope flickering and fading all at once, as if he didn't dare believe in kindness anymore. Caprio closed the folder in front of him.
"These violations," he said firmly, "are dismissed." Robert blinked hard as if he was trying to process the words. "Dismissed?" he whispered. "All of them?" "All of them," Caprio repeated gently. Robert exhaled a breath that sounded like it had been locked inside him for months. He steadied himself on the podium, overwhelmed. "Judge, I don't know what to say." "You don't have to say anything," Caprio said. "But I want you to do something for me. And for Evelyn." Robert's eyes filled instantly. "Find help," Caprio continued, "not because you failed, but because you deserve peace. You deserve a bed, a door you can lock, a place where memories don't hurt so much. And my office will connect you with people who can help. You don't have to fight this alone." Robert nodded, tears slipping down his cheeks. Thank you, Your Honor. She would have said you were a good man." Caprio smiled softly. "She sounds like she was an extraordinary woman." "She was," he whispered. "She still is." As Robert walked out of the courtroom, slow, careful, but lighter than when he arrived, the room seemed to breathe again. People turned their faces away, pretending they weren't wiping tears. And Judge Caprio, watching the lonely widower disappear through the doors, whispered under his breath, "Sometimes mercy is the last shelter a soul has."